Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and I'm back with this small project that we kind of only just got really started on, and we're going to try working on it here a little bit more tonight. I'm not sure how far we'll get, but we will do our best. I am joined tonight by my lovely wife, Mandy, and yeah, we're just going to get into this and see how things go. Kind of excited to be back. We last stream, I pretty much, like, at the end of it was like, okay, off to bed in a hurry because I got to get up early the next day to go start off my wife's birthday celebrations. And we've only just got back a few hours ago from cat sitting. So after our little holiday away, we came back to watching over somebody else's cat. And that was kind of interesting. Kind of not used to being around cats all the time. And my sinuses definitely kind of showed that to be a truth. I think I might be allergic to them. Wasn't terrible, though. It wasn't really so bad, like, but yeah. And then the cat tried to guilt trip me. Made me feel bad that I was leaving. Like, after it took a couple days to get a bond, and then it just was like, oh, I can't leave now. Very sad. Yeah, I still have to look at the pattern for this one. This is not easy. It's really pretty, though. I really, really like this pattern. But it's just really hard to do. At least parts of it. Yeah, what do you think of this one? I think this is one of the ones that you were kicking to get made. Yeah, it's really pretty. I really like this one. It's just... it's this one area just always seems to mess me up. And I have to watch the pattern the whole time. Oh, now let's not go make the Americans all jealous because we have Toys R Us in Singapore. They went and lost that one in the US. By greed, basically. Of course they did. Yeah. It's just annoying enough just to make it a little bit weird. It was until they went bankrupt. Some company bought it up and then like did one of those maneuvers. There was a movie about a stockbroker dude who like basically made companies were worth more in pieces than in a whole, and divides them up and whatever. That's kind of what they did. Went through a bunch of bankruptcies, went through a whole nightmare-ish thing. And then, yeah, like there was nothing left at the end of it. Like all the Toys R Us are gone. I don't think that was it. It's at the end of it, the guy ends up deciding that they're going to build boats or ships or something for the military or whatever. But like he was killing a business that had been around for a long time. And he was going to gut it and whatever. And then in the end, when he found out like how many families this actually affects and what it all does, at the end that they were going to end up saving it. Yeah. But it's that same kind of story of just someone coming in, gutting it, and making millions while the whole company closes down. It was really sad. Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those really tragic stories. So did you hear what I was saying earlier about the fact that we have been gone all week and we just got back from house sitting for somebody with a cat? Well, 2 cats. And then just before leaving, the one cat that had finally kind of warmed up to me started guilt tripping me. Like it's sniffing at the suitcase and then looking back at me and then coming over and being all cuddly and cute. So yeah, this cat totally guilt tripped me about leaving, and like now it's like all I can stand. And I'll never get to see this cat again because the house that we were cat sitting at is not where this cat normally lives. So yeah, he didn't. No, yeah, and he kept like circling my feet and trying to be all super loving and attention and. Like way more than it had for the days that we were there. Like, yeah. But I will definitely appreciate being able to sleep a whole night without like having cats use me as a springboard or knocking things around. So our friend was cat sitting when she decided she needed to go off on a trip. And so this cat lives with somebody that we don't even know. So, yeah, it's one of those complicated somebody else's. Yeah. Yeah, cat CPR I can live without. Like, there's nothing quite like that disturbing jolt you get when you just get pounced on. Plus, and I'm not even sure when it happens, I have a very large scratch across my belly. I have no idea how I got that one. That was probably one of those lunges in the night. Oh, joy. Hey, just string things. All right, so the red goes off this yellow, changes the direction, yellow. Yeah, so we have been away for the entire week. We left Sunday and got back a few hours ago. We ended up going to Indonesia and yeah. So after our holiday, we came back to watch these cats. 5 a.m. 5 a.m. This cat decides it's time to like wake up and pounce on us. Like, I can tell you, like, my sleep is all kinds of messed up. I don't know. I do not need cats getting me up in the morning. But the other days were good. We went and stayed at this really posh kind of hotel and had lots of fun and hanging out or whatever. And then after that, we stayed in this hotel that's made up of a ship that they dragged up onto land. And I don't know if you guys have seen the photos, but the ceilings are about 6'4" in height. And how do I know that? Because I'm 6'4" in height. There are some places where I can kind of stand up straight and my head is touching the ceiling. It was... Yeah, I get that cats are cute and fun and that stuff. If you guys want to talk about that, we can talk about that. I get that they're cute, they're lovely, they're lovey little balls. But I like my sleep. I like my sleep undisturbed and unpounced on. And if you happen to have the house where you can like close off the door so your cat doesn't get you, you still end up hearing all the stuff getting smashed and broken in the other room. That's no fun. But yeah, I am gonna miss the little bugger. It took ages to get. Yeah, and I was wearing like really short, low, whatever shoes. Can you imagine if I had worn my Doc Martens? I'd have been wrecked. Did we take pictures of the cats?
Sure.
I don't remember taking one's emoji.
I've got videos. I can put them on
Discord?
On Discord.
Yeah, so we went out and got a massage, came back to a hotel that makes it where I got to like crunch down. It was so difficult. Oh my God. It was so bad. But the owner, we met the owner of the place. The dude's super, super nice. And they did offer to change us our rooms to apparently like the second floor. The rooms are a bit taller. I'm like, we're already kind of unpacked or whatever. That's all right. I did get some new ink. Can I get it on camera? There it is. It's dopamine. The one thing that I really have trouble with in the real life. It's ADHD is a lack of dopamine, apparently, and that's why we take the medications, is to try to get our brains to squeeze out a bit more to help work with the executive function. So yeah. Amazing tattoo artist. Absolutely. Like, normally, whenever I've gotten a tattoo, they put the saran wrap around, and it just oozes blood, and there's just, it's messy, it's whatever. This one is, yeah, that too. Dopamine and serotonin is depression. Serotonin and dopamine equals happiness. Lack of dopamine is the reward for doing a good thing, that your brain gives you the happy feels about accomplishing stuff. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, dopamine is the reward center of the brain, where, you know, we put off whatever to like we would do things now knowing that the reward is later if you have dopamine working normally. But for us, we tend to like wait to the last minute, rush like hell, accomplish the thing, and then try to squeeze a little dopamine out of that whole experience. It's like we use adrenaline to try to help pump it out. Yeah, that would be amazing. Okay.
Yes.
Ah. I kind of want to check it out. Is it one of those like really short ones like they used to make us read in school? Or like they have a version of it that's kind of reduced down? Why does it seem like I've heard of that one? Oh, for anybody over on the vertical stream, if you're confused by the whole conversation going on, we have a horizontal stream as well, and I'm actually chatting with them for, you know, whatever. So if it doesn't make any sense, that's why. Yes, there seems to have been like a lot of books way back in the day where they weren't really long or whatever, but they packed a punch. Like the one where the guy kind of discovered electricity, but then the elders are like, we got to consider about the candle makers and stuff, and we don't necessarily think we want to use this new thing that you've worked out. And is like the world had gone backwards. The circle? I don't know. Yeah, I think all my favorite like dystopian things were all in books. I don't think they ever even got made into a movie. I like that kind of stuff too. Yeah, definitely making some progress here. Definitely digging this. Okay, maybe Mandy can kind of Google this one up. There was a dystopian movie where it was like the whole world kind of went backwards as far as technology goes, and the dude discovers electricity from like a hand generator and tries to suggest this could be a way of having some pretty cool stuff. The elders poo-poo the whole thing, said we got to consider the candle makers. You can't just make lights and stuff work off of this electricity without it affecting other people. We don't want it. So he leaves that part of the community to go create himself his own compound, and he's going to use electricity to keep anybody else out. Like I remember like the key parts of that whole thing, but I swear I don't think it's ever became a movie. But it was one of those ones like in school they wanted us to read. It was pretty good.
Anthem?
What's it called?
Anthem?
Anthem? Yeah, that might be it. What does it say?
All characters are named after numbers. They don't have electricity. And the main character falls in love with a female peasant. At the end of the book, he discovers a place where he ends up discovering electricity and light bulbs.
I don't know about the numbers thing. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, there's... Okay, so possibility of a few. It's really coming together now. I love it. I will do my best to find out the title of that book and have it for you guys next stream. Because now my brain now has this itch that does not want to go away. LMNOP. That's so hilarious. I'm still trying to finish a book I got started here recently. The last something. Douglas Adams. What's the Douglas Adams one I'm reading, honey? Do you know?
The last of that kind?
Yes. Do. Last Chance to See. So it's traveling around the world looking at the last of animals. I think there's maybe something in there that's not real, but everything it seems to be like that I've read so far is. But yeah, talked about seeing the Komodo dragons and just all kinds of cool stuff. It's really good. And it was kind of a while ago, and talking about these places where they traveled to go see, and like how things work in these various locations. It's been really kind of wow, pretty cool. Try to domesticate you, but you're an animal. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so I really fell in love with The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and after having read that entire series, I looked to see what other kind of works that he had, and there's a couple Dirk Gently ones which are absolutely hilarious, and yeah, then there's this one, and this one's just kind of more realistic. Like everything else was kind of like laughing and funny. This is more him traveling and kind of describing the stuff he sees. It's really good. I'm almost done with it. I have a little trouble with my e-reader. It's not it's hard to read, but I'm trying to make do. Yeah, Dirk Gently was hilarious. A holistic detective who just kind of finds clues accidentally, and yeah. The Hitchhiker's Guide. The first book of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I almost got kicked out of the library because I was laughing out loud so frequently. Wow. No wonder you don't have time to finish up your laptop cover. Back when I was a security guard, I did a lot of reading, working all the night shift. Not much to really do. It was either reading or knitting. I went through a lot of the sci-fi people who did the short stories and stuff. I particularly like those. I think I'm familiar with this YouTuber. I think back in those days, it was his very early streaming days. Yes, just strange things. That is just strange things. I can totally relate. Like, I've been waiting for the bug to bite me again to get back into my e-reader. I don't remember what happened the last time I pulled it out and got really engrossed, but I always feel bad, like sitting in like a Starbucks or whatever, and like just pulling out a book and reading. It just feels sort of like they would prefer me to just drink my drink and leave. So like I have this whole trouble with like making up my mind that it's okay to use the space for myself. Mandy can pull up a seat in these places and be there all day, laptop in hand, a swallow of drink left in the bottom of the glass, and just keep going at it like, you know, like she owns the place. I get really freaked out by that. All right, so let's go back to this. So anybody that's curious what this looks like, it's a cylinder, and I made a bunch of progress. Yeah. Actually, I'm probably more likely to be a coffee bean and tea leaf. Because they have the original vanilla. Yeah. Well, Mandy's pretty good at like finding like these cool hotel spots to go sit and hang out, where they have like drinks and stuff. Well, we can't tell you on the stream because if we tell you, then they're going to become crowded locations. As if we're that popular. But it could happen. The juicy gossip thing, yeah, relatable, except for the problem is I only speak English, and here half the time it ends up being in another language, or they switch languages. You know, yeah. Although I'm pretty good at like picking up on the tones. Like I've asked Mandy, like, oh, they're arguing over something, aren't they? You know, or whatever. Kind of recognize the scenario based on just general tones. So I have fun with the guessing game of it all. Celebrate your baby. Like I should. Oh, geez. Mandy has a way of blocking out things and yet absorbing things. Like I've noticed, like while I'm doing my like TikTok scroll, and she'll like suddenly like bust out laughing at something that's really messed up. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of this thing. I think we're getting a fair amount of progress. I'm kind of impressed.
Getting used to it as you're getting close to the end. Kind of reminds me of the cats.
Yeah, right. Plus side is I have 2 more bags of this pattern, so yay. Wow. Yeah, that's where it starts to the lines get a little blurry and yeah. I don't feel bad making them for myself, but I am nervous about the prospects of putting them in my shop. So like Mandy's getting another bag big enough to actually hold a regular sized phone, ironically. And I'm getting a phone case. I mean, there are like the shopping bag that I have that has this pattern where it doesn't include any branding on it whatsoever, that we were able to buy. But then again, that was in the same mall that had Balenciaga t-shirts for like $15. So yeah. Have you seen the big hoopla over on TikTok that a bunch of designers have come forth and said that, well, basically, there was this big agreement between US and China to say that they would crack down on counterfeits. But the America has gone and tariffs and all this other nonsense and pretty much broke off any kind of relationship with China. So China's come clean and said, look, most of the brands that all right, that basically a lot of the big brand names that we all associate with Paris or whatever else do a minuscule amount of work on that particular whatever, and that happens back there, but the most of the building of the product is happening in China. And you can get these, yeah, and they are all coming out with how you can buy these luxury brand stuff where, yeah, it's happened. There's so many that have come out. Like, apparently some of the fancy watchmakers, all this stuff, all happening in China. So yeah, it's got a lot of people feeling like they got gypped because they paid like 10 times more for these bags and these watches and stuff. Blows my mind. I'm not sure how I'm going to end this thing because it's supposed to end with like a seam kind of closing it. But to try to level it out flat might be an issue. Nice. I ended up making a couple bracelets while we were away. Two of them went to the tattoo artist. Well, one I made and Mandy made one that went to the tattoo artist. And then I made this one that I decided to keep for myself. It's got a really cool Kumi tails on the back side of it, but it's single knotted instead of doubled. And it's just really pretty. It's kind of inspired by the colors of the sea and then, you know, earthy tones. I really like it. I don't suppose you remember how many cm this thing was supposed to be by chance, do you, honey?
Sorry, say again?
How long is this supposed to go before it's done?
Double checking. Yeah, something like 10 cm.
Yeah, I can't say definitive, and that would be a problem to not be able to say it definitively.
9 cm.
Alternatively, instead of sealing it up on the inside, we could make it where all of these little bump things came down, but I don't know if there's an even number of them. Do you recall, honey? How many downward things we got with this one?
Nope.
Because if it's an odd number, that's going to make it even harder still. Yeah. Seems like I have to do that a lot. I have to admit, though, I really like the way it looks. It's really pretty. I think part of what really is making it for me are the colors. Because it's supposed to look like the light is shining in from the side, and that's... Right. Yeah, but see, I didn't get that education, so, you know, kind of why I have to keep recounting things. Same again. uh, yeah. Yeah, it kind of blows my mind that like how in America it's a constant, you know, every year it seems like they're making a big fuss about, you know, elections and such. And here it's like, oh, couple weeks we're gonna have an election. Get ready. Like, whoa, where'd that come from? Yeah, I've been trying to avoid American news. Your husband keeps sending me things about American news, and every time I know it's just the kind of shit that's gonna just bum me right the fuck out. Like, seriously. Like, he has a way of finding the ones that are just like, oh man, really that bad? Yeah, we know somebody that's gonna miss the vote as well. Because, yeah, their plan's already in. All right, guys. Shut. Oh, is no. No, I made a mistake there. No, we got break time is in 30 more minutes. That's when they do the puzzle. A fun little game. Just when I start thinking I get the hang of this thing. Yeah. Yeah. So now I've got it to where all the way around is the same length. So that's pretty cool. Once I finish this little part here, I can take it off and figure out how many things there are. Because we're getting close to the end, and I don't want to mess it up. It said 9 cm, right? Let's see. Yeah, we're at 7. 9 is here. Like, that's really not that much farther. I just think they wanted to have the elections right around the time that we're celebrating the completion of the big project. All right. I actually don't have to take it off of this to count this out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope, there's 9 of them. So I can't line them up to do a thing. So any suggestions on how to end it, considering it's an odd number?
No.
I have to figure this out really quick. Yeah, me too. That was from an article, right? Somebody saying that the immortal jellyfish wasn't on the ballot. How did that come about? Oh, Facebook.
I mentioned Facebook.
Uh, yeah, suddenly I'm like really curious how this is going to end. I'm guessing what I'm going to have to do is take my pattern, which is available to YouTube members. You guys can all check that out, and just draw a straight line across it. Well, he's got to be, that would have to be smarter than half of the people in Congress in the United States. I mean, most American politics are spineless. Yep. It wasn't always so bad. I really believe it. That all wasn't always so bad. But now it's just a matter of trying to act like nothing can possibly ever be done. So that way people don't get mad that their taxes aren't doing things to help them, like having better roads or stable electricity or all the other stuff. America. They have the audacity to say like they're the greatest. They have no clue. Seriously, no clue. No, I think they're beyond thoughts and prayers at this point. Yeah. So you said 9 cm, honey? Is that including enough space to like leave like the knots inside and everything? It's not gonna like push the phone out?
Okay, 9.5.
Okay. Well, this will bring us this adding one more row brings us to 8. So yeah. It's so it's so well fitted to this thing. It's hard to give it a twist.
It's not so bad because that it doesn't have to be like big knots.
Right. Right. It's just going to be single rows. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a line from off of the base here of like, whatever it lands, and just make it a straight row. And when you turn it inside out, you'll just start at one point and just go straight across, knotting them all up.
So it'll be flat.
Yeah.
How will it work for?
I can't do the thing because it's an odd number.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I was slightly tempted in just going just one solid row across instead of going for two. But making it so I don't have to shift it as much will help kind of speed things along a little. It's just a little bit more efficient. Yeah. Yeah. I get that a lot. There's been quite a few headlines coming out of America, things that have happened, things that the Am I right in understanding that Andrew Tate has been rescued from prison by Trump and he's coming to America now? Dude that's on trial for like sex trafficking and minors and all kinds of other whatever is getting a get out of jail free card. Meanwhile, somebody who's gotten swept up in this whole ICE stuff, Trump can't do anything about. He's stuck in some whatever prison in another country, and Trump seems to think that he can't do anything about that one. Yeah, no.
Doesn't Trump want to deport Americans?
Yeah, Trump is actually looking to see if there's any Americans who speak badly about America, if they can be deported, despite the fact that they're Americans. Like, he wants to find a place where if you talk bad about America, they can send you away. Yeah, there's just so much weird stuff coming up. And like I said, I'm trying to actively avoid it because I just get really riled. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I'm not buying that. That seems like horseshit. Yeah. Oh, and I heard that Trump has told Europe that if they want to have lower tariff charges, they need to take away the LGBTQ rights, like any laws that protect these people. They have to get rid of that in order to get lower tariffs. Like, he thinks he's got this big weight over top of them, and if they want to play, he gets to control how their laws work. That one's just a wowzer to me. I can't even, these other countries don't need America. America isn't that great. They'll go trade with China. They'll go trade with everybody else. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. The whole thing just doesn't make any sense. It's gonna. But I have a theory. When Russia collapsed, all the oligarchs made out like bandits and took over all the government agencies. So basically, you could end up with a scenario where America dissolves and Bezos becomes in charge of the post office because they are the closest to actually understanding how any of that stuff works. So the rich will just get incredibly richer, and the whole rest of the country just goes into a nosedive, and then like it'll slowly build itself back out from whatever is left. But the oligarchs will all win because they'll all take over anything that even resembles money making. I mean, we've seen it happen before. Yep. Yeah, I don't understand American politics anymore. Oh, it's almost puzzle time. Do we have enough people to do a puzzle, honey, or no?
Just string things still here? I mean, it's got minute here, so.
Just string things. She's still here. Hello. Yeah, all right.
Well, strings did it single-handedly last week.
That's true. Was that last week? Yeah. Yeah, we can now relate to being harassed by house tigers. We have experienced it.
2 weeks ago, I was in Bali.
Yeah. Yeah, if we had just string things and Mandy, we could do it. Those two seem to almost have it like down to a science how to make it happen. I think String Things is here, but she might be AFK. Something about mathematics was mentioned earlier, and the skills of the people of this country, I believe, was mentioned. Oh, We were just talking about whether or not there was enough people to puzzle. We were looking for our star puzzler. It's going to give me a chance to stretch. All right. I need to find the stuff. Where's the puzzle game? Start game. Yay! How is the sound from Sammy not making it to the stream? I don't get it. Well, I'm just glad you guys got through the whole puzzle. That was awesome. So this brings us to 9. I don't know how much farther one more thing goes. Yeah, I don't get what's wrong with the sound effects. It's really hard to test it unless I'm actually in the stream. And it's set up by the looks of it to do it exactly right. But then, I don't know. Oh, hey. I didn't see Bitch and Betty came in. Hi, Bitch and Betty. So I guess I bring another row. Maybe I just do these 2 rows for now, and we figure out the length afterwards. I don't want to get it too lopsided. It just makes it harder to get nice, even rows if we get too far off crest. So... So what are you thinking of the pattern? Ain't it pretty? I love it. Is there going to be a problem being it completely flat across the bottom where like normally there would be like the little cutouts or whatever to make it squared corners?
So, if you have a flat base, then when you put in something, rectangular, it will just have 2 corners sticking out.
Right. But that actually makes it so that way it doesn't quite be as flat.
Right.
Yeah, this is definitely a pretty cool pattern. I really think this looks amazing. I suppose if somebody was really interested in trying to make this pattern, they could probably just watch the video long enough to actually get it figured out. But you don't have to do that. If you're a member over on YouTube, the pattern's already been made available for all of them. They can just go to the community tab, download the pattern, and have fun making this thing, because it's not bad. And yet somehow I feel like I could. Like, mind you, I'm really good with craft paper, though. So, you know, one of my superpowers is bracelet craft paper. Yeah, I kind of am. Well, Minute Craft was the one that told me that I should actually go ahead and try to see if I can do this in a normal pattern. And in that morning, well, how long would you say it took from saying let's do it to actually having a working pattern? My guess is probably 30 minutes tops. Yeah. I just get things in my head, like if there's a moment of clarity for my brain, like I can do it. Like there are times where no matter how much whatever, it's never going to happen. But there are days where, you know, dopamine levels are high, or I don't know, something, serotonin's flowing, something's going on in the brain. And yeah, I'm really good at stuff. Yeah, exactly. Oh, so tomorrow I will be out, or at least not streaming. I have to start getting things ready for the classes that we're doing, and I want some time to try to figure out if some of my ideas are going to work or not. I'm thinking of cutting the strings shorter for the test, like the beginning lessons, because I kind of feel like there's no need to kill off like a whole third of a skein, times how many of our strings for people who might not even get the hang of how to do it at all. Yeah. So I'm going to cut down some strings and give a chance. Hey, Estelle. Whatever it is. Hey. Yeah, hi. I don't know how to say your name. But yeah, so I have to get ready for the class thing. And kind of. Ash. Hi, Ash. So yeah, I'm going to be doing some like test bracelets, see how it kind of works out with shorter strings. I'm thinking of making it 1/6 of a skein. So it should be enough to kind of get it going. Yeah. Because basically I'm just trying to get them started. If they get the hang of it, then we can give them longer strings and they can make bracelets. But yeah, it's going to start out like keychain, whatever. Hello. Oh, so you got some hellos coming from the horizontal stream there, Ash. They're yeah. So this class thing coming up, I'm kind of a little bit nervous because it's so freaking early in the morning. I am not sure that I will be kind of, yeah, right. Well, having seen what other people have done in the past, I would hardly call it keychains or bookmarks or anything. They just turn into a ball of, wow, you did not get anything I was saying kind of vibe. So yeah, I'm kind of, yeah. What I need is the ability to go to bed at like 9 o'clock at night so I can get up in the morning and get a few cups of coffee in me and be all nice. And yeah, I'm not really good at that. I can go to bed at 9 o'clock at night, but I'll be on my phone until about 1, 2, occasionally later. So how does your cat sleep in the same room with you guys? Yeah, I didn't like the getting woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I really did not like that. All right, so now I have to kind of rotate it around a bit. Oh, come on. The size of it is so close to the size of the mat that I have behind it. It's it does not want to slide. There we go. I did it. The string lengths are getting kind of short. But fortunately, we're getting near the end of it, so that I don't have to worry. I'm gonna get a drink.
Two hours later.
Did you guys hear that one?
I did.
So how does that work? How is it you guys can hear that comes to that's the same source where the hand clapping and all that stuff is? I am really baffled. All right, hang on. I need to try something. Yeah, okay. No, they're on two separate things. But the sound for that one was up to 100%. So now the question is, what is the sound level for the other one? I can't see where when the puzzle solves. I found it. Nope, that's not it. Hang on, what is... Yeah, that was weird. But that's not supposed to be the sound effect it's supposed to do. I'm completely not understanding why this is. Oh, wow. Wish there was a way I could test it. I don't know if I could test it without actually playing the whole puzzle game. But I found where the sound level is, I think, but it's like the sound. If I could somehow make the puzzle game play on easy mode, I would do it again. But we'll see if it works next week. I'm determined. It's really cool. It goes wow, and then there's like a bunch of like applauding and golf clap, and it's pretty awesome. I hear it every time you guys win. I really want you guys to hear it though, because you guys are the ones that did it. So yeah, it just drives me insane that it's not working right. Especially if you guys can hear the SpongeBob thing. It doesn't make any sense. It's the same program that runs both of those. It's the same program that's running the chat to win game. So the chat to win game had been, odds were 1 in 15,000. It's now been reduced to 1 in 10,000. So the chances of winning have increased by something, a third, I guess. Is that how that works? Did I math? If you go from 15 to 10, is that right? My wife is looking at me like I'm
I don't know. You didn't tell me.
No, I'm saying if it goes from, if the odds were 15,000 and it goes down to 10,000, how much better are those odds?
5 out of 15. One's a.
Okay. So a third better odds for you guys to win now. And it's a cool bracelet. It's a very, very pretty. Yeah, 30%. There we go. Yeah, math, not my strong suit. All right, a third. She said she likes fractions. I started thinking like mentally, yeah, maybe fraction. That kind of makes sense why, she's got me. Well, whatever it is, there's better odds. So all you guys got to do is just keep chatting. and eventually somebody's gonna end up getting a bracelet sent to them. So I think it's kind of cool. Where is the rainbow, by the way? Yeah. Yeah, Mandy didn't seem to have any problem with the ship. She walked around with no trouble. Oh, right. And I barely even noticed that the thing was there when I walked through past it or whatever. Like, so seeing how lengthwise this actually kind of works for like how without having to add any string or whatever. So I'm kind of wondering if I want to make my phone case have it like where it slides out sideways as opposed to like making it elongated, because elongated means I'm going to have to add a lot of string as it goes down. But if I do it sideways, I don't have to add string. And I would like that.
Being so wide, I'm not sure how well it would stay on the phone in bags and stuff.
You don't think it would work out so good?
Like, it could just slide off.
Hey, Ash.
Oh, that's not confusing at all.
I'm wondering, is it the same Ash that we were talking to before, Ash? Did you just,
No,
like,
unless
change
you
your name?
change her.
Might have. If so, that's totally awesome. Yeah, it's got a real cool, like, kind of Q*bert look to it, right? I don't know if anybody even remembers the old video game Q*bert, but it kind of reminds me of that. Yay.
No,
Yes?
No.
No? It's not.
from previous streams.
Oh. So there's two Ashes. That's not confusing at all.
That's what I said.
Well, I'm guessing the name became popular in the 90s. Right. So, but yeah, it's a pretty cool pattern. I like it. I think it's really turned out cool. Yeah, when I hear Ash, that's my first thought. It's Pokemon. That's why I'm thinking it was a popular name back then. Nice, strong, independent name. 12 years old. Here's a rat. Go around the country. See what you can do. What did Ash ever even do to earn money to have something to eat? That's what I want to know. Yeah. Yeah. To protect the world from devastation, to unite all people within our nation, to denounce the evils and truth, to denounce the evils of truth and love, to extend our reach to the stars above. Ah. Surrender now or prepare to fight. Yeah, I'm guessing it probably was. Have you seen the detective Pokemon thing? That was pretty good. Nice. Token? Like the dude that did the Hobbit?
Yeah. Story of how he first conceived of the Lord of the Rings character, the whole character.
Huh?
the whole concept and all, everything. Like during that, he was in college, I guess. Remember the Warm Bodies dude? He played Tolkien.
Cool. So the longer this gets, the harder it is getting to spin it around this little cutout board. We'll see how it goes. It is. That's exactly what it is. It's 32 by 10 cm cutting mat, and yes, from Daiso. It just happens to be like just the right size for this. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how it works. I sent you a picture, right? The light thing has, hang on. I don't have a place to plug it in for during the stream, but he's got the robot. Yeah, he's got the robot look. So that was what I actually bought a pack of highlighters to make that work. And the pen, so it turns out that pen is kind of like an Explorer, but different. It's actually a limited edition pen, because I actually saw it while I was out. It's a limited edition, and I have it stuck in my journaling thing, and that's the pen I've been using since I inked it up that day, like as soon as I got it. And that's what I write with it in the journal. I'm kind of looking forward to when it runs out of ink, because then I can put my ink in it. But so I just didn't know which kind of cartridge it used, so I just used the cartridge that came with it. But that's just like a plain black ink, which is sort of boring. But once that ink runs out, I get to put my own stuff in there, and I get some like purples or blues or like all these really cool ones that like they kind of like leave little other colors on the edges. It's, yeah, fountain pen ink is amazing. But yeah, I use it all the time, every day. It's a, yeah, I probably have enough ink to last me the rest of my life. I joke about that a lot. You don't really use a whole lot of ink ever, even if you write as much as I do, which is a lot. Like I have to give myself notes about whatever it was I was thinking about. Otherwise, I will forget. Like I've already forgotten what I was supposed to look up. Oh yeah, wait. Hang on, I'm gonna write this down because I almost forgot it. The book about the electricity and stuff. See, like just doing regular random stuff, and then my brain like, nope, it just ejects that stuff. But yeah, I have a feeling I can figure it out. Because I'm sure it was one of the books like that they made us read in school, and like those sort of books are sort of typically easy to find because they're like the really big like authors and stuff. Hey, Tammy Critters. Hello. Had an amazing week. We went out for Mandy's birthday and then went cat sitting, which was entertaining to say the least. And then we just got home today. So it's been an amazing week. I still can't get over this pattern. Like, it all just kind of came together when I was trying to draw it out. I kind of, it's one of those, huh, I did that, huh? Yay me. Yeah, there was. Well, it wasn't bad. I made it off the original, and it's fine. It just wouldn't have lent itself well to doubling and making it bigger. But this is the original, and it turns out it works. It's just not quite as polished. But yeah, the pattern that is now over on the YouTube is what I'm using for this. And I can say for a fact that that one works out just fine and is built to do bags out of. Got really quiet, guys. Yeah, I am. I am so tired. You guys have no idea. I've been going to bed early and getting up early for this whole last week. This is like the first time I've been up to, past midnight in a while. You don't know how many segments we've gotten in this new row of ours. I'm curious about that because I'm kind of wondering, like, how far to basically expect us to get next week. There's a line where the sky meets the sea and it calls, and no one knows how far it goes. I have not heard that one before. That's cool. So who's Mona?
Disney.
And I feel like the last Disney movie I went to see was Dumbo. And that was a while ago. And I took Mandy's mom to it. Yes, I do not. Dumbo is really good. There were elements of it I was like I wanted them to keep from the original, and of course they did change up some of it. They didn't have the black crows talking like the black crows that talked in the original. Yeah, that was probably a good move on their part. But I always loved the notion that Dumbo had it in him the whole time, but he needed something to hold on to be able to believe in himself. I thought that was like such a great metaphor for so many people that, you know, that we cling to whatever it is to give us the courage to be able to do what's already within us. Yeah. Yeah, some people it's a book, some people it's a charm, whatever they believe to give them the strength to be able to go out and make accomplishments. And I figured that's cool. You know, Dumbo was good with it until he figured out he no longer needed it. One, two, three, four. So yeah. 4 out of 9. Not even quite half. But we did a bunch of the other row. I don't know. It's so hard to rotate it. There we go. Yeah, the Kumi for this is just brilliant. All right. Actually, you know what? This is... I don't know that one either, mind you. But I think... Yeah, I think my brain needs some sleep too. I need to get a little something to munch on before I go to bed. And I'm thinking we're gonna leave this here because that way I kind of can start off with the same whatever. Otherwise it's gonna get kind of weird. Before I go, I do want to thank my YouTube members who make this stuff possible. Without these guys, I wouldn't have the money to buy the string. And yeah, thank you guys so much. I really enjoy what I do. I love teaching you guys patterns and how to come up with stuff and all the things that this channel is about. So these guys made it possible. So thank you guys so much. We will be back next week with this pattern and hopefully closer to the end of it. I think we'll be there. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, guys, have a good night. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.